Hi, I'm Kaspar from Tallinn, Estonia, and my dream is to compete in the World Championships in Ironman in Hawaii. Actually, didn't start this way. I think I was like 29 years old, about 10 years ago. I figured that I should start doing some sort of sports. And I signed up for a running marathon thanks to a colleague in Sweden. And after doing the marathon, then back then we had a JCI sports club. I'm a member of JCI, and through that I found a coach who got me running pretty fast, considering the time I put in there. And after the marathon, then I figured that, that is done, what next? Then I tried to run a 3-hour marathon, did that. Then figured that, okay, maybe I should try something bigger. So I stuck with triathlon. I didn't know how to swim at all. So I could float on water, but I couldn't swim, so I took classes. So I had to learn swimming from scratch, and probably did my first triathlon in 2011 in the summer. And then I had a few years off from sports because I was president of JCI Estonia, and that kept me pretty busy for 2 years traveling, so I couldn't really do sports, but I wanted to get back in the game. And then I ran some marathons again, and then I actually signed up for an Ironman race in Frankfurt. That was in 2017. And for that I actually got myself a coach and followed some proper training drills and completed the event faster than I actually even expected, despite it was very hot, like 30 degrees. And at the same year I kind of accidentally qualified for the World Championships in half Ironman, so I went there last year. So it's not something that, this is something that anyone can do. It's just another race, it turns out. But after this I figured that, okay, if I can do it in half Ironman, maybe I can do it for the full. And now I'm training for doing 2 full distance Ironmans this year. One is in the summer and the other one is in the autumn. I don't expect to qualify already this year, but we found a race that might play on my strengths and weaknesses. So obviously swimming is my weakness and running is my strength. So we looked up a race where swimming is downstream and running is hard. So maybe I have an edge against the other competitors. Well, I'm not a professional sportsman, so therefore I have work, family. I'm also an entrepreneur. I run a conference on the side. So there's plenty of things to do in everyday life, and trying to fit in 8 to 14 hours of training a week in the schedule is sometimes pretty demanding. So yesterday, for instance, I had to do a 3-hour bike ride in the morning, then grandmother's or my wife's grandmother's birthday in the day, and then drive back to Tartu, and then I got out running like 9:30 in the evening. So sometimes it's pretty tricky to fit in the schedule. Actually, there is this very famous guy, Mr. Hilton, who started the hotel chain. And he was also asked at his, I'm not sure if it's 80th or 90th birthday, that what was the reason for his success. And he said that there's only one thing, that in the morning tuck in the shower curtain. So that's consistency. Just every day you need to do a little thing to keep moving. So for me, I have my training plan, and I try to follow it as much as my schedule allows. And usually you build up your schedule around it, and it works out. So consistency, I think. Probably it's kind of, if you climb a mountain, then usually what you see on top is the next one. So it's not like if you have one goal and you achieve it, and then your life is over. You always have a next thing to go for. So it just comes naturally. So I can't really say I have anything that really inspires me or someone. I'm just another ordinary guy, and I've found something that I like doing, so I keep on doing it. But actually, I just want to be fit and on good health, even when I'm maybe 60 or 70. So maybe this is the ground reason why I'm doing what I'm doing. I don't really need to do competitions for that. So compared to a lot of friends of mine, I actually do a lot less competitions than they do. So I maybe do a few, 2 or 3 per year. I think number one is put in the work, because any goal you might have is probably harder to get and requires more effort than you think. So secondly is that you need to make some sacrifices. It's not like I'll do this and everything else. Then probably something else you have to a little bit sacrifice. So you have to have a good reason why to sacrifice these other things. And third thing is probably get some external help. Get a coach, or if you're doing sports, or if you're an entrepreneur, get somebody else who's in the same ship or running a similar ship, and then you can relate to, because you get more ideas, and you see that everybody else is just as well struggling. It's not always a piece of cake. In sports you have injuries, in business you have setbacks, and it's always nice to know that you can be sure that it's never a smooth ride. It's never a smooth ride. You always have injuries and problems and other issues. So be prepared for these, and it's part of the journey.